All pharmaceutical companies are driven by one common objective: to provide safe and effective medicines to patients, which improves their quality of life, enhances public health, help patients live longer, healthier, and more productive lives. Hence, the backbone of any pharmaceutical company is their drugs. Getting a drug to a market and to the patients is a long and tough journey. Let us travel through it. After scientists identify and test the potentially helpful molecule, it then goes to phase 1 of clinical trials. This is when a small group of healthy participants come together to help determine the safety and dosage range of the drug. If the drug passes safety requirements, it moves on to phase 2. Now it's given to a few hundred people who suffer from the condition it's meant to treat, and its efficacy and side effects are closely monitored. If the results from the first 2 phases are positive, the drug moves on to phase 3, when it's now tested on thousands of people. After submitting this compiled data to the regulators, they review reports from these phases of clinical trials, and if everything looks positive, the drug is approved for doctors to prescribe. Once the drug is approved, it's available in the market. Why do we need to do a check for safety of the drug once it is in market after it has gone through long years of clinical trial testing? A comparison between clinical trial and use of medicine in real world will answer this question. Clinical trials are conducted in controlled environment in limited population, whereas in the real world, the drug is exposed to a larger population. In clinical trials, no other medicines are given along with a study drug, while patients can be on a number of medicines in the real world. Patients with other illnesses and special conditions like pregnancy are excluded in clinical trials, whereas a marketed product is exposed and given to all types of patients, that is, children, pregnant women, and elderly patients. Data from clinical trial is limited, and the exact nature of drug can be predicted only when it comes to real world. What triggered need for drug testing and continuous safety monitoring? Let us go back a few years. Introduced in 1957, thalidomide drug was introduced as a sedative and antiemetic and was easily available without prescription. Physicians experienced that the medicine was effective in relieving morning sickness also. Hence, they started prescribing it off-label. In 1960s, more than 10,000 children in 46 countries were born with limb deformities as a consequence of thalidomide use. This resulted in implementing globally stricter regulations for the use of drugs, and thus emerged stronger functions of pharmacovigilance. Pharmacovigilance engages in collection of safety data, providing updated safety information to healthcare professionals and patients about every product, assessing risk-benefit ratio of every drug, foreseeing any risk that might be experienced by the patients, and preventing any tragic incidences like thalidomide disaster. Does this mean safety of drugs is a responsibility of pharmacovigilance team alone? The answer is no. Pharmacovigilance team can function more effectively only when information is made available to them. Who is responsible for providing safety information to the pharmacovigilance team? You are the link between pharmacovigilance team and the real world. So be alert, capture and report each and every side effect you come across to pharmacovigilance team. Be responsible, be vigilant. Play your part in making medicines safer.